Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat the Designer, John Jurkovic in the building. Good kid, we are 7-3. And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are 9th ranked in the country.
That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me.
Look at that.
They put Alabama one behind them, so that's very interesting. The first 4 get byes. So I think Oklahoma would be on the schedule for the...
I believe so.
I believe the Fighting Irish, if I'm not making mistakes, 12 plays 5, 11 plays 6, 10 plays 7, 9 plays 8.
Yes.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oklahoma would be on schedule, but that's going to change. Naturally, that's going to change by the time they get to the end of all this.
100%. We got a lot to get into on today's show as we got to talk about this 7-3 record here for the Chicago Bears. I want to get
7-1 in the last 8.
I want to get your take on, is this team real or real lucky as we're moving forward here? Interesting article came out in the Tribune about the differences between this pop-up season and some of the Matt Nagy stuff that we've seen before. Have we been here? Have that conversation. And, of course, preview the game. All that and more on today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. This episode is brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. Good kid. You want to tell us about Mitch Lyons a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Mitch Lyons, good friend of mine, played in the NFL. Extended period of time, had a chance to go and play some golf with him. What a swing.
Yeah?
What a
Good
swing.
swinger?
Yeah, he could square the ball up. Definitely not a problem for him. You know what he's been doing? Ever since he's retired from football, he's been helping people prepare for retirement themselves. The 5-7 years before you retire and the 5-7 years after you retire, the most important time for you, the red zone of retirement, we like to call it. That's when you need to best prepare. It's better to prepare early, but that's when you really need to kind of get focused and get things set and get things in order so you can get things done. MitchLyonsWealth.com, a ton of information there available for you. That's where you want to go. It's Mitch, Lyons, Lyons.com to get you set and ready so you can win your retirement, man. That's what it's all about. To sit and relax and enjoy and spend time with family and friends when you leave your working life behind.
That's a heck of a promo.
MitchLyonsWealth.com.
That's a heck of a promo right there. Good kid. Well done.
That's clean.
Well done. That was very clean.
Feel so
All
good
off
about
the top of the dome, too?
Yeah.
Dominating.
Not reading a thing. Not reading a thing.
That's what we do here on the Chicago Bears podcast, man.
We dominate.
Good kid. Let's jump into this because
Let's do it.
you said something on this podcast, and we had this conversation about is this Bears team real or just getting really lucky? You said something earlier in the year when we started kind of rolling some of these wins out that I thought immediately when we got this last win, you know what? It's starting to happen. And it was the belief that this was real. And it's what we saw from Washington last season where a couple of wins went their way. And all of a sudden you were like,
you're building momentum.
We can beat them because we were able to do this. Bears coming up against the toughest part of their schedule. Do you believe that's happening here in Chicago?
Well, I mean, first, to win, you've got to believe you can win. You can't apologize for the teams that you play. They're on the schedule, and at least the Bears are beating those teams that are on the schedule.
Yes.
So they're doing what you're supposed to do. After losing the first 2 games, and you got your ass kicked against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you did.
Well, guess what? I kind of expected that this team, when it was trying to figure out exactly who it was in tough in that specific game. And they were. Now they came back and they started rolling off a victory. Then a couple 25-24 victories on the road, winning. This team is 4-2 on the road. It's 3-1 at home. So they're winning at home and they're finding a way to win on the road. It doesn't matter how you win on the road as long as you win on the road. That's the important thing.
Right.
And that's what this team is doing. So good for the Chicago Bears to be able to do that. You're still believing. They're still believing. They're still believing. Now, this year's belief is this year's belief. Next year, you're going to have to rebuild that all over again with whatever additions and subtractions that you make. You're going to have to find a way to come back and replicate the magic that's created this year. So they're coming into the toughest portion of their schedule. Yeah, reality is going to smack you upside the face a little bit.
Yeah.
It will. I don't know if it's going to happen against Pittsburgh. What do I anticipate against Pittsburgh? Another hard-fought football game. Another hard-fought football game. They don't defend the tight ends very well. If you take a look, 7 touchdowns. I think there's like 60-some-odd receptions the tight ends have been able to get on them through the first, I think it's 10 games.
Yep.
So the tight end position has been able to take advantage of these guys. I believe if you're going to run, you run straight at T.J. Watt. You wear him down. Force him to go left. Force him to go right. Force this team to chase and get in pursuit. But TJ's more than happy to chase. But TJ doesn't like to get punched in the mouth. Nobody does. So come back and get the double teams, get them, hit them from all directions, have some fun, pound them. And when this team commits to pounding the football, they play the play action. That'll slow down that pass rush a little bit. Stay ahead of the sticks. And then you might find yourself in a situation where you can win a game in the fourth quarter. And I think anytime you play a game, and when you play Philadelphia, when you play Green Bay, you want to be in a position where you've got a chance in the fourth quarter to win things. You don't want to be so far out of it that you're basically clearing the bench and you're getting some guys some action and some run. That's not what you want to have happen. So Pittsburgh at home, Soldier Field, run the ball, pound the ball, get it to them, get the tight ends involved because the tight ends have a tendency to be very successful against the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it seems like there's a great opportunity here, Jurko, for this Bears team to continue to build on versus, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that.
I need to get to 8-3. We need to get to 8-3. Before 100%. You play Philadelphia on the Friday night, you need to be at 8-3.
I'm not going to sit here and say that Pittsburgh is the greatest defense that you're going to face, but I do think they have one of the best players you're going to face this season. But what I will say is this, you haven't won very many games versus well-coached teams, and they are a well-coached team. So it would mean a lot to me if you get to 8-3 versus a Mike Tomlin, Arthur Smith kind of team, because whether it's Rodgers out there or whether it is the back Mason Rudolph out there. Rudolph trying to bring a little Christmas cheer early this year for the Pittsburgh people out there.
Party people in Pittsburgh.
The party people.
Hey, party people! It's a serious song. It's right, not wrong. I could say right on. The party people out in Pittsburgh.
No matter what the situation, we've seen Mike Tomlin get a team do 8-8 with a Mason Rudolph. So you can win with a guy like that. That's where I would be very impressed if the Bears got this win. And why I do think you're going to war with a little more ammo with the coaching staff you have here.
It's the Central against the Central, the North against the North.
Yeah.
That's what it once was. And it's steel belt football. That's the way it's always been played. It's going to be a beautiful day on the lakefront.
Yeah.
No excuses for Cairo Santos or anybody that's out there that's looking for excuses. You got to go out there and you got to play well. I want to see the Bears get the ball into the end zone this week. Settling for all those field goals and those field goal tries last week was a little bit sickening to the pit of my stomach. So I'd like to see things get a little bit better in the red zone. I really like the Bears' chances this week.
Yeah.
And whether it's Aaron Rodgers, whether it's Mason Rudolph, it doesn't matter to me. We know where our weakness is.
Yeah.
Our weakness is on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Hey, and more specifically, I like the way they play the run now as opposed to the way they played the run at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
I like how they're combating the run. We can't get to the quarterback with 4. Can't be done. We can try. We can get in the face. We're not going to bring the quarterback down. We're not going to put him in those big 2nd and 17 situations or 3rd and 18 situations. We're not going to do it unless we bring a blitzer off the corner.
Yeah.
Unless we got somebody coming in and surprising the quarterback, getting in there, forcing the fumble. We force turnovers. We don't turn the ball over. So that's the kind of combination that's good for you. If you don't turn the ball over, you're not giving them extra chances. You're not giving them easy chances. That's a good thing. Cover in the punt, cover in the kickoff. That way you don't allow those easy chances either. Force the team to execute going down the field, and you give yourself a chance. And that's all I want this week is a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter.
Because the Bears, it's weird to say, and you've been covering this team a lot longer than I have professionally. I can't remember very many seasons where I was sitting here going, the Bears in the fourth quarter are a team you don't want to see. On the offensive side of the football. I can't remember very many seasons where we were talking about you can't give the Bears time on the clock or you will have problems.
Right. If you were behind with Mitch Trubisky, if you were behind with Justin Fields, you knew that you weren't going to be able to muster up an effort to come back and win a football game. You can't say that about this team. And I don't even think the offense has played their best game yet.
No.
I don't think the offense has nearly looked at a game and said, we played a good, complete football game here. That hadn't happened yet.
The Dallas game is
so
the
the upside is still here.
Game, but you didn't run the ball well.
You're an opportunistic defense. That's what you become, and that's fine. That's who you are right now. You cannot fix your pass rush game right now. Can't be fixed.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wait for the offseason to be able to fix that. It's unfortunate. Somebody said Jervin Dexter's number 20 when it comes to pass rush efficiency.
Or efficiency, okay.
Yeah, some sort of efficiency stat that's on PFF. We took a look at, the usual suspects were up there. The guys that were graded 90% or higher.
Was Myles Garrett up there?
Oh, he was up there.
Was there a Trey Hendrickson possibly up there?
He was up there above the 90%
Was there a T.J. Watt up there?
I believe he was up there. Okay. Yeah, the usual suspects were up there. The kid Hutchinson was up there.
Aiden Hutchinson probably up there. I could see him spending some time up
usual
there.
Britt Burns, or the Burns kid down from
Brian Burns.
Not Britt Burns.
Britt Burns, you went back. Brian
the
Burns.
former White Sox pitcher. Lefty Britt Burns. No, Brian Burns. So those guys are up there.
Yeah.
Jervin Dexter's 20th.
He's in there.
So that was interesting.
He's already, I believe he has just matched his sack total for last season. He has not surpassed that. But with his 4.5.
4.5.
This season, with his pass rush win rate moving in the right direction, second half of the season here. There's a lot of opportunity for him.
But it's not going to fix itself this year. They're going to have to find somebody in the draft and or free agency. They're going to have to fix it. Montez Sweat, who is the leading sacker on this football team, I think will probably finish with about 8 sacks, 9 sacks. Mm-hmm. And you'll look back over it and you'll say, well, it's a pretty good number.
It's a solid season.
Of course, of a 17-game season. But certainly not what he's getting paid for.
Yeah.
That's not what he's getting paid for. You're getting paid to
double digits.
Well, you're paid to pressure the quarterback more consistently. Instead, sometimes the sacks come, sometimes they don't come. Our guy in Cleveland, 10 sacks in the last 3 games. Well, he could have done that in the first 3, but you've got to bring the quarterback to the ground. Yeah. He's got to hold on to it. So there's a number of different factors that go into play there when it comes to absolute sack totals. But pressure rate is something that guys can do. They're getting pressure. Even though you're not bringing the quarterback down, you're putting the clock in his mind. And right now, we don't have a player that puts the clock into the mind of any quarterback. Yeah. Don't. J.J. McCarthy could have sat and patted all day long. By the way, J.J. McCarthy gets fixed. You know how he gets fixed?
How does he get fixed, Jurk?
I want you to throw a 3/4 ball.
Explain that.
3/4 ball.
3/4 ball.
Not full speed. If you throw the ball 70 miles an hour, I want you to throw it 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Throw me a 3/4 ball. I don't want you firing the ball through anybody. You don't need it right now. Let's throw a 3/4 ball. And the 3/4 ball will get him to understand that controlling the football is more important than throwing the football. So, that's what I'm looking for. Just give me 75%. I don't need 100%. Give me 75%.
There's a little conversation that could be had on that with Caleb Williams too. I thought in the cold weather the touch. I think at times was a little bit of I got a bullet to give you.
I think he still has more touch.
Yes.
Than JJ does. But for anybody that's jumping off the JJ train after 5 games, I'm going to tell you to woe your thing a little bit. And I'll tell you to woe your thing all around the league on anybody that's giving up a quarterback that hasn't played, say, 40 games.
Yeah.
40 games. You want to go ahead and you want to start drawing some conclusion after 40 games, but I'm not drawing any conclusions after 5.
I think that there is you were very beneficial by where JJ is right now and the fact that he had the injury to start the season.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Whoa. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Oh. Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
Let me ask you this, good kid. Were you ever a part of a season where it felt, I guess for lack of a better word, magical, like what the Bears are doing right now? Because this feels like there is a lot of magic that you look at. And sometimes, I said this to Shay on Monday, at a certain point, the magic's real. And this feels real with this.
So we were 4-7 in 1996 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We had 5 games left on the schedule. We needed to win all 5 games to kind of have a chance. And so we got together and said, you know what, why not? Dick Geron introduced it in the meeting room, defensive meeting room. He goes, listen, all we can do is win the games that are on the schedule. You're going to need help. So let's do what we can do to put ourselves in a position to make the playoffs. And then we started. I think it was Baltimore at the old Baltimore Orioles field, Metropolitan. And we went out and won a game 30-27. Overtime, where we forced the fumble on Vinny Testaverde. We got the ball. Mike Hollis kicked the field goal. That was the first victory. I don't think we won any game after that by more than 7 points. But we went down to Houston. When Houston announced they were leaving to go to Tennessee, there were 17,000 people there. They weren't motivated to play. We were. We went down there. We beat them. Atlanta was the last game. Morton Anderson has to miss a field goal at the end of the game from 39 yards, and he hits the ground, chunks it, and puts it wide of the things, and we end up in the playoffs. So you want to talk about something that looked like it was going to be a terrible football season?
Yeah.
At 4-7, that turned into, hey, we qualified for the playoffs, and we're going to play the Buffalo Bills in the first playoff game. They have an interception return for a touchdown. Clyde Simmons intercepts the screen, returns it for a touchdown. We didn't have a double doink, but we had a doink, and to win the game, Mike Hollis hits one off the left upright and it goes through. So we found a way to win. Now we go to Denver the next week. We go down 12-0. We block the extra point. They go for a 2-point conversion. They miss the 2-point conversion. We're down 12-0. By the time halftime comes around, we're up 13-14-12. And you're scratching your head. They felt like they had dominated the first half on us, right? They dominated the first half on us. They were down 14-12. So we took advantage. Doubt started to creep into their mind. We ended up taking a 30-21 lead because they came back and they got a 2-pointer somewhere down the line. I forget exactly what it worked out. But they got to 27, and the game was over, and we ended up winning the game. So we won the first game of the win streak was 30-27. We beat Buffalo 30-27. We beat Denver 30-27. Identical score. Identical. So that's when it felt magical. That's when it's going magical. Then we went up and played the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game, and we were driving the ball down to the end. We were down by 6 points, 13-7, I believe. And then Mark Brunell he was going for Derek Brown in the end zone. He hit Willie Big Play Clay.
Big Play Clay.
Right in the hands. That's the interception that almost ends it. We get the football back. We throw the ball to James Stewart in the flat. He gets stripped of it. They pick it up. They return it for a touchdown for the cover. You should have heard the cheer in New England when the cover comes in on the fumbled flat pass. He's just releasing it out there. They picked it up, returned it for a touchdown. We ended up losing that game. I think it was 20-7. And it was like a double digit. It was a 10-point. So we were covering the whole time. Not that we didn't care about covering. But the cheer that went up when they had the cover was absolutely nuts.
Was there a young Chauncey Billups in the crowd?
And then there might have been. And we punted the ball early on. Rich Griffith was the snapper. Snapped it to Barker. It was a little bit off. Fumbled to the punter. They got the ball on the 5-yard line. And
scored.
They punched it in for a touchdown. That was the opening score of the game. And it was like, you got to be mother. They got 2 more field goals and then the defensive touchdown at the end of the game. We just couldn't muster anything up against those guys.
So you had the magic.
So we had the magic. We went to the AFC Championship game. We had no business being there, none whatsoever. But we ended up doing it anyway because why? We started to believe in each other. And when you believe, and then that's when Jimmy Smith emerged.
Yeah.
That's Keenan McCardle was on that team. We had Pete Mitchell, not the Pete Mitchell that was in Top Gun, but the Pete Mitchell that was from Boston College. And Derek Brown was our tight end. We had Kevin Hardy, Aaron Beasley that we had drafted that year that were playing. Tony Bracken's Kevin Hardy and Aaron Beasley. 3 rookies that end up starters on that team. So
it ended up continuing to grow.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know what happens or what you're going to do. So we made the playoffs in 96, 97, 98. I left. They went to the AFC Championship game against Tennessee the next year. They end up losing. So we went to 2 championship games within 4 years, just couldn't hit the final spot. Then I think they went to the playoffs again, and then it dropped off after that, and they ended up letting him go and bringing Jack Del Rio in. Coughlin, they let go. Then Coughlin did what? He went up to New York.
Went up to New York and won a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Couple of Super Bowls.
See the way it works out?
You? Did he say, Jurk, I want you on the staff at all?
I saw him out there. No. I'm going to tell you why. Because I never wanted to move my family and live a nomadic lifestyle. We had moved 3-4 times already.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give my kids a solid foundation where you can go from close to family. So that's why we settled in Northwest Indiana. Her family was in St. John. My family was in St. John. Her sister was in St. John. And we were out there in Cherville, which was right next to St. John. So
beautiful.
Yeah, that's why you do that. You do stuff for the family. Though I thought I could have coached. I thought I'd be a great coach. I'd be a phenomenal coach.
Yeah, listen, I've seen you break down technique. You would have been amazing at it. You would have been amazing.
D-line, O-line. I could have coached the O-line too because I know what works against players. So I'd have been a great offensive line coach too. But instead, I'm the number one, the best radio personality in the history of Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
Self-titled.
And number one in our hearts.
Self-titled.
Number one in our hearts.
64 on the charts.
We got a little bit of breaking
64 on the charts, number one in your hearts.
64 on the charts, number one in your hearts.
Right, what kind of breaking news?
We got a little bit of breaking news here, Jurko, as the Bears have designated Kyler Gordon for return.
Okay.
They're opening that window, 21-day window for practice. You're talking about the magic. The Bears have had the magic. And, Jurko, this is what I think is the most interesting thing about this team. You designated last week Jalen Johnson to come back. This week you're designating Kyler Gordon to come back. You're not just getting back guys. Now, I don't know how healthy or how quickly they're going to be able to come out and return to be the form that they were in. You're getting back arguably a top 5 corner in the NFL. You're getting back Kyler Gordon, who is probably the second or third best slot corner in the league. You're getting back real pieces. So it goes from being the magic to getting back really good players on the defensive end as well.
And probably your best blitzer.
Yeah. With Kyler Gordon.
Best guy coming out of the corner. 100%. Best guy coming off the corner. Now, CGJG. CJGJ.
There you go.
CJ might be a guy that comes off the corner as well.
Yeah.
I think he's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful young player that's been able to come in.
As crazy as it is here, is he the best signing Ryan Poles has made in
it was
his tenure?
And desperation. It was a signing of desperation because you had so many injuries at the cornerback position, and it works out. It works out. He wasn't in the league because he couldn't play. He wasn't in the league because of certain things.
Yeah.
And I think the 2 months on the sidelines helped him figure out that, maybe I need to be just a better teammate and or theoretically a better human being. And that's fine. If that's the realization you come to, you realize that 2 months on the street, not making NFL paychecks, that'll do it to you. Yeah. That'll do it to you. Yeah. So I think he appreciates what he has now more than he ever has. But he's talented. He's got talent. Okay? He always has talent.
You knew that. When he didn't get signed, it was like, okay, why is he on the streets? Yeah.
You know why.
Yeah.
You know why. The important thing is now he knows why.
Yeah.
And he's realized it. And I hope because of it, he becomes a better individual. And because of that, extends his career 4 more years, 5 more years. And let me tell you, if he doesn't do it here in Chicago, he's going to do it somewhere.
100%.
He's going to do it somewhere. And you know who's vouching for him? Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
So, and always remember, inexpensive talent is better than expensive talent if the disparity is not that great. So, something to just think about when we move into the future.
When you talk about getting those pieces back, how does that change the outlook of this Bears team moving forward? I mean, the Jalen Johnson one feels like it may be. It has to be if you're going to do it by the first Packer game. That means you have all of December headed into the playoffs with Jalen Johnson.
I think once you go to dime, you're feeling real good. You know, once you get a fourth corner in the game, along with your 2 safeties, I think you're feeling real good because at that point it's either CGJG,
CJ Gardner-Johnson,
CJGJ, or it's going to be right. Somebody's going to be on that field because you know it's going to be Tyreek. You know it's going to be Jalen Johnson. You know it's going to be Gordon.
Kyler Gordon,
and it might either be Wright or
CJGJ.
That's the guy.
Yeah. That's a dangerous front, by the way.
It's a it's a dangerous back six. That's a dangerous back six.
Can you fix your pass rush issues with having CJ, having Kyler, having Jaquan still there?
No. No. And what was Tyreek, a second-round pick?
Tyreek Stevenson was a second-round pick, yes.
Second-round pick. So at some point you make a decision on him because he's got a 3-year deal. I mean, don't they usually sign 3-year deals? Choices?
4 for second round, 5 years for first-round picks.
It's 4.
4 for second round.
5th-year option.
4 with a 5th-year
round.
option. Yes, for
First
first round. Yes,
yeah.
4 with a 5th-year option, yes.
So the 4th year would take him up. So at some point, you're going to have to make a move on Tyreek Stevenson, too. So as far as contractually. So
100%.
What are you going to do at the corner position? So I think it leads to an interesting offseason. And I always say you got to find that pass rusher.
Yeah.
Find him. So
Could have drafted him twice.
We'll see how we do it.
Could have drafted him twice.
Yeah, well,
really nice.
Jalen Carter,
I don't know. I still stand on what I said when everybody said don't take him. If you don't have the coaching staff to
handle it,
then you got the wrong coaching staff.
Yeah.
You should have fired everybody that day. The second your defensive coordinator, head coach,
the minute you said that, I don't know if we can handle him.
I don't believe we can handle him. Yeah, you fire him. Yeah. But no, it's going to be interesting now, especially heading towards the end of the season, what this Bears team is going to be able to do. Ben Johnson said this Bears team will be playing their best football by the time we get to December. They might be, especially with what this defense is.
They're going to have to be.
Yeah.
Because of who's on the schedule. They're going to have to play their best football. And hopefully they will. This one against Pittsburgh is imperative. You get to 8-3. I said this earlier. God, if I'm going to only win a handful of games to get to 10, the 2 against Green Bay are the ones I absolutely want. I absolutely want to win 2 games against 100%. Green Bay. I mean, that's what I want. I don't know if it's going to happen. But if you can do that and put 2 losses in the Packer column, that's a good thing for the Chicago Bears. Because Philadelphia, I believe San Francisco is going to be a tough game. Against Detroit at the end of the year, I hope they're playing for nothing. I hope they've already solidified the division by that point. I know
we're still at the top and they're fighting us.
Why?
Or we're still at the top and they got to beat us to win it.
But at that point, then I know that there's a wild card.
We're doing good. Yeah, we're doing good.
There's already a wild card clinched. At that point, going into the final week, all right, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so once you get to the playoffs, everybody's gone. 18 teams are sitting on the sidelines. You're one of 14 teams that's playing, fighting for a chance to make it to the next week. You get to the next week, now that's 8 other teams that have gone home, right? So now you're looking at 20-some, how many hours is that? 24 teams. 24 teams are home, and they're watching you play. And that was fun. That was a great thing about the playoffs. I went to the NFC Championship game. I went to the AFC Championship game. I never made the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But we were playing, and everybody was watching us play. And they were envious. They're like, man, I wish we could be in this position. This would be a great position to be in. And then we got a chance to be in that position. Then, of course, I left. Missed out on 2 Super Bowls. Not 1, but 2. 1 win, 1 loss. But missed out on 2 Super Bowls.
Well, it wasn't a leave-by-choice situation, was it?
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of we appreciate you, but we got this young guy behind you.
There was a bayonet.
Was a bayonet?
I was on the edge of the what is that called? The plank.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of the plank, and they're like, listen, you don't have to jump, but you can't stay here. So if you want to sit on the plank way out here until you fall jersey and you jump. So, it was to the point where I knew I had to go, and that was just the way it was.
Before we get out of here, of course, we got to do our underdog plan. I do want to take a look around the NFC North with you and get your prediction on this game. But we got an underdog play we got to put together. Yesterday, Courtney got us started. She went.
What'd she kick it off with?
She kicked it off with a Monangai higher. Anytime touchdown, essentially. Higher than 0.5 on a touchdown there. Felt good about the Monangai opportunity to punch one in at the goal line. And I think we're going to get into a point here where Ben Johnson's going to get down in the goal line and say, we can't take chances. We need to get somebody's points. So I like that. You were talking about the tight ends.
I was. I have a feeling they're going to be successful. I don't know if we have a number on the tight ends.
We don't have a yards number yet. I think they're waiting to hear if Rodgers is going to play, and I think also Ramsey going to play possibly. Maybe. I don't know why.
So give me a DJ Moore. See if there's anything on DJ Moore.
Like a DJ Moore?
DJ only had 1 catch last week. I don't think that's a DJ Moore. I think he's going to be motivated. And I think they might want to get DJ Moore because Rome would get the focus by Jalen Ramsey maybe if he plays. That way, I think DJ Moore gets some more opportunities there. But if I don't have an over-under on yardage, I don't know what the yardage number is.
We don't know yardage yet. We've got Caleb numbers in here. Would you be interested in some
I don't want a Caleb number at all.
Okay.
No.
I don't want a Caleb number at all. We got anything on Monangai? Yeah, for some reason, all of the pass catchers are just touchdowns. Just touchdowns right now.
Well, I mean, that's a tough one then.
Colston Loveland, anytime touchdown, first touchdown scorer of the game. That's a tough one
first of all, to compliment what Courtney's doing, we can't do does she have first touchdown or anytime touchdown?
She had an anytime touchdown on Kyle Monangai. You could do a first touchdown with a Colston Loveland or a first half touchdown.
Are there any rushing yards for DeAndre Swift?
Are there any rushing yards for DeAndre Swift? No. I don't know what's going on with the app today, but
all right, well, it doesn't make a difference. We're recording this on a Wednesday, and so on Wednesday I've got to make my pick and my play. So I will go with a anytime Colston Loveland touchdown.
An anytime Colston Loveland touchdown. Make sure that you guys tap in with the Underdog app, and maybe we switch that up. We'll let you know later in the week if there's some yardage coming in. I'm sure there will be at some point. Maybe we switch that one up.
And then we'll do a little satellite program, a small one just for the Underdog.
A little small one, yeah.
We'll say we have abbreviated what we have
abbreviated
said.
Update. Yeah, I like that.
Abbreviated update where we take away that and we'll go with something else.
Download the app today. Sign up with the promo code CBP. Score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. It's promo code CBP. Underdog, make picks, win money. EOQ, the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Welcome back in here to the Chicago Bears podcast. John Jurkovic, Pat the designer, back at it again. Let's finish this off, Jurko.
Absolutely. Okay? I thought we were done. What happened?
You thought that was the end? That was just the Underdog play.
We're back at it again. Here we are. I'm back.
I love you.
Don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years.
That's right. LL Cool J.
Little LL, yeah. Were you a big Kango guy back in the day? Did you have a Kango?
No, head was too big. Nothing really fit this melon. I've
seen some big linemen with Kangos. Good kid.
I was a Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 guy.
Okay.
Then a Curtis Blow guy.
I do love a good Curtis Blow.
I like Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
And then
These are the breaks. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
The Fat Boys came around.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the Fat Boys.
Of course.
So I like the Fat Boys, and then Crush Groovin' was out.
Oh.
Remember Crush Groovin', Body Movin'. And that's where you saw a lot of those guys in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then I will go with Run DMC. And when Run DMC, that's when it just started. Okay, this is great.
Were you an Adidas
Cool J, it was this. My Adidas.
There we go.
What is it? Standing on 25th Street, funky, fresh, and something like that. But yeah, I used to remember that whole Raising Hell album I had down. Kings from Queens, Queens come kings. We're raising hell like a class when the lunch bell rings. The king will be praised and hell will be raised. Suckers want to phase us, but we won't be phased. What's your name, DMC? The king is me, his highness or his majesty. Yeah, I had it all back in the day.
What do we do in the second half of the show?
That's 1985.
This is the greatest thing ever.
That is 1985.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Super Bowl, and there was the good kid rapping Run DMC.
Yeah. And then things got militant.
Yeah.
First, it was Two Live Crew.
Yeah.
Me so horny. Me so horny. No good.
That's what you tapped out?
Yeah. And then Public Enema.
Jesus.
Public Enema with Flavor Flav.
There was little
and then they had their own little, little hostilities were starting to break out.
Little NWA.
NWA was next.
Yeah.
NWA. And then they went independent. Then Ice Cube did his thing.
No Vaseline.
Dre was doing his thing. And then the Chronic come out in 93 or 94. You remember when the Chronic came out?
I was not born, but I do know the Chronic.
That's when the Chronic came out, and Leroy Butler and Edgar Bennett would always say, what? Who? These nuts. I go, you mother. They pissed me off. And then that went around the locker room like. But yeah, I remember the Chronic.
That's phenomenal.
Good times. But then after that, you transition into something different. You know, you listen to what you listen to in high school is not necessarily what you listen to in college. It's not necessarily what you listen to when you become a young adult. And then when you're an old adult, you just remember how young you once were. Oh, the memories.
You have a flashback right there. Good.
I didn't have a flashback.
What I had, the camera, you locked in there for a second.
What I have is not even had. What I have is the stark realization of what you are now compared to what you were once like when you were youthful. And the fluidity of movement and the fluidity of thought that one used to have compared to what you currently have at the tender young age of 58. Now, I still have my striking features. The blue eyes, the butt chin. Oh, yeah. Make me unique and different from most individuals that are out there. You okay?
It's the greatest podcast ever. I love doing this.
I'm a singer, though, man.
I love doing this show with you so much.
We have a good time.
We have a good time.
You know, you do it for other individuals during the week.
I do.
Courtney, you do it with Courtney Cronin.
Courtney.
You do it with the McKee.
Yep.
I don't know who else you do it. I don't know who else you have.
Shay Norling. Yeah. Shay Norling took some darts on Monday.
Did he?
You know, when you come with a little too much realism, Bears fans don't like that all the time.
Well, you know what? He acts like Bears fans are idiots. We know who we've played.
Yeah.
We know who we've beaten.
Yeah.
We can see what their records are.
Yeah.
Nobody's pretending anything. We're first place. Doesn't make a difference who we played. We played the teams that they put on our schedule.
And beat them.
That's it. That's all you can do.
And beat them 7 times. Let's make it 8. Does it happen this week that it is 8, good kid?
Yeah, I feel very confident against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 3-1 at home, 4-2 on the road.
Yep.
They're coming home in front of a rabid fan base.
Yeah, it's getting crazy now.
Yeah, it's a rabid fan base. I mean, we
haven't felt this in years.
They love you when the Bears suck.
Yeah,
they love you. Now that the Bears are a good football team, the passion and the noise that's going to be out there. If you sold your tickets like before the season thinking that Pittsburgh fans will travel, you probably regret the fact that you're not going to the football game.
Yeah.
Okay? But it'll be on the lake. It'll be fun. It'll be mid-50s. It'll be a good day for football. And I think the Bears end up victorious in this one. You can't come home and lose.
No.
You cannot come home and lose.
Need to defend the home field.
That's right.
And I think I will say this, to finish out the season, a lot of people are looking around the division and saying, well, I still got Green Bay. I've still got Detroit. I don't think the Bears really are who we think they are. Good kid, when I look around the division, I got questions. And I don't think that there's a ton of answers right now. I think a lot of teams have figured out if you run at Micah Parsons, he looks exactly like he did.
Yeah, he looks like Micah Parsons.
Season in Dallas.
Yeah, he looks like Micah Parsons.
He looks exactly like the guy that we always talked about. It was like great pass rusher, love the player. In the run, he is not as impactful.
And you don't run away from Micah Parsons.
No, you run at Micah Parsons.
You run at Micah Parsons. You don't let him use his athleticism to get around anybody and to chase things down on the backside. You go out there and you make him earn his check. And that's what they're going to do with T.J. Watt this week. Yeah. That's why I'm feeling good. They're going straight at T.J. Watt, and they're going to make it happen.
And I look at a team like Detroit, and I don't know if Dan Campbell's a good play caller or not.
Hold on, though.
You had 44?
The one game they exploded. I like Dan Campbell.
I do, too. I really like him.
You go for it on the first 4th down, you don't get it.
Right.
The strength of that defense is the interior, too.
Yes.
It just is 97 and whatever number
Jalen Carter.
Whatever number Jalen Carter is.
Jalen Carter.
So it's 97 and him. You go and put your punt unit out there and you can do a fake punt. What did Pittsburgh counter that with? They didn't take their defense off the field. They went with a safe punt.
Yeah.
So now your offensive lineman can't block these two. Now you're going to do it with backup linebackers? And you think you're going to surprise them? Did you see how surprised they were? Those guys were down in stances getting ready to come off the ball hard and aggressive. And then you're going to run in the middle. You're not even going to throw a pass out of it. Get the up back and then throw a pass out of it to the up back.
Yeah.
I saw a fake punt where the punter grabbed it, got it, and threw it underhand.
I saw that in college.
Yeah.
I saw that, and it was the
punt.
And
then the guy comes down with the thing. I'm like, that is fantastic. They could have done that.
Can you count that as a punt, though?
It's not a punt. It was a throw. It was a pass.
Oh, that's right. The receiver came down with it. That's right. Yeah.
Their team came down with the football.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't fair catch that either.
No.
If that guy thinks it's a punt and he goes to fair catch it, no, you can't fair catch it.
Yeah, you gotta
You're
defend
up for
it.
that one. You can go
You
get that one. Yeah.
50-50 ball.
Yeah.
I love it.
I thought that was a great play, fun play. Dan Campbell made the mistake of running a fake punt into a defensive stay. The minute he saw a defensive stay, he should have just said punt it away.
Yep.
No, that time punt it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was idiotic move. I didn't mind the first one. come up with a better play call, though.
0 for 5 on fourth down that day. What great defense.
You don't realize if you don't understand where the strength of their defense is, and you want to keep, it's like you use a ball peen hammer and you can start hitting a wall, and at some point with the ball peen hammer, you realize it's not a big enough hammer.
Yeah.
Get a regular claw hammer and do that too, and you realize, okay, that's not a big enough hammer. Then you upgrade to like a mini sludge, and you realize, nope, that's not going to do it either. Then you get the sludge hammer out, which is what you need. There's times for a sludge hammer, and there's times you go over the top of it. And you go for a different tool. And he just refused to listen. He refused to listen. And not only that, but his quarterback was usually throws 70% completions.
Yeah.
He was less than 50%.
A lot of tip passes at the line.
Yeah, less than 50% completions.
I need somebody to teach the Bears defensive line. When you don't beat them,
but
throw your arms up. Throw the arms up.
Hands in the air like you don't care.
And we're back to the music. I feel like the division is up for grabs. I'm not sitting here one of those guys who thinks that everything with all the Packers and the Lions is sunshine and rainbows right now. I think there's an opportunity.
The Bears and the Packers have the toughest remaining schedule.
Yep.
Both of those guys have the toughest remaining schedule. So common sense would dictate to me odds of those two teams finishing on top of the division might be against them a little bit.
Yeah.
Might be against
them.
More
than likely.
And the matchups you have head-to-head against Green Bay and against Detroit are going to go a long way to tell you exactly what you're going to be and what you're not going to be. Okay, because you plan on winning today. I plan on beating Cleveland because we're playing Cleveland here, I believe.
Yes.
So you're beating Cleveland here.
No, we play Cleveland in Cleveland, right?
Do we?
I believe that is in Cleveland.
But still, I plan on beating Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders at quarterback. Those are mistakes waiting to be made. Okay? Mistakes waiting to be made. And I liked Shedeur Sanders in the preseason when he came out, when the whole world thought he was nothing.
Yeah.
And he came out and he showed the world, look what I can do. All right,
nope, that is in Chicago.
Okay.
That one is in Chicago.
I like it in Chicago. So Shedeur Sanders, you've got to pay attention during the week and during the season. You can't just go blinking out and say, oh.
He looked unprepared.
Because your development is going on all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're not getting reps, you're getting mental reps, and you've got to be concentrating in practice. So when you see it, you know you saw it before, and you know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So I'd say last week screamed out at the fact that you may not be paying attention during practice when you should be, because you got to be taking the mental reps. You got to be asking the questions. We used to get there and we were out, but we take a look and we look at personnel the first thing. Down and distance, personnel. All right, we know what's happening, what our call is. Okay, 70-30 pass to run. Is it 50-50? What is it out of this formation? Will there be a motion that starts to dictate something a little bit more? Do they get the slot receiver coming and doing a little protective motion where it makes it look like it could be a running play? What do the stances look like on the offensive line? That'll help you know, do they plan on running or passing the ball? So all types of these little keys that you need to pay attention to on every single play. And if you've got a system in place and you've got the and you've been doing it, and you created the habit of doing it, then it just comes naturally to you. You're out there playing, you're answering all the questions that need to be answered instantaneously when it comes out. Down in distance, where are we at on the field? What's the personnel? What's the formation? That kind of thing. Right away, you're doing it all. Strength. You're processing all that information, and then you're getting a number.
Yeah.
80-20. Or they never run draw or screen out of this formation. And if you can take draw and screen out of the formation, and you know it's 90-10 pass, then you get to pin your ears back because you know he's going to be in the pocket. He ain't going anywhere.
Right.
Those are the types of numbers that you got to, but you got to be able to process that information, and it's got to come from recognition. There's the information. They're telling me what they might do. Okay, what they might do, but they're also telling me what they're not going to do.
Right.
100% they're not running draw or screen. That's important for a football player to know so he can get things done. And 90% of the time they're passing and they're not running, okay. And when they do run, is he an offset back when they run? Do they motion, is he out and then they motion him back in? And that's my signal for it might be a run? What is it that they do when they want to run the ball out of that formation? All those questions.
It's all about knowing what the pre-snap picture looks like. Absolutely. And then reacting to it.
And then you got to be ready to do it again.
Yeah.
You go through it, you bump your head, you hurt yourself, boom, and now you got to get up, get the call, and go back and start it all over again. Now, life was a little bit easier for me because The minute I did my job and we stopped him and went to 2nd and 8, they were putting a defensive back on the field and a pass rusher. And then I'm like, that's getting to the sidelines. I made it. I'm here.
Did you lose most of your breath running from sideline back onto the
back
field?
then I was in good shape.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love.
I got to tell you about last one.
What do we got? Hey, I don't even.
I got a buddy I went to high school with. You know, the out of breath thing. I got a buddy I went to high school with. He worked at Women's Workout World. That's where he worked. Lady comes in. Yeah. You know, she wants to start working out. So.
Wait, that's the name of the gym, Women's Workout World?
No, it's Women's Workout World. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
No, I mean, it's like it might have been a big chain. It might have been something special.
Oh, okay.
Back where I grew up.
Okay.
Back in the city. So he goes, well, first, we've got to get some measurements, right? And so he comes out and he gets the tape. You got to have the tape.
Right.
That way, you know where you start. And 2 months from now,
you could put a plan on, yes.
You could see, look, you lost 3 centimeters, you lost whatever, 2 inches, whatever. You could see it's working for you, so we can continue this path on. It's going to be a process. It's going to take a long time. So he goes to her, he goes, here, hold this. And she's got it in front. She holds it. And then he starts running. He's like this. And he's going around her. And he's got the tape in his hand. Then he gets back in front of her, and he goes, I'm back. He got fired. She complained. He got fired on the spot. On the spot, he got fired. Oh, that's classic.
She complained and he got
She
fired
complained.
immediately.
She complained to the manager that he did that to her. He was a comedian, my buddy. Funny man.
How's he doing now?
Like this. Yeah, he's working somewhere. He's working somewhere. What are you going to do?
I'm back is great.
I'm back. Yeah, but he was like this. Oh. The whole time. He's like he's running. Ooh, yeah. I'm back. Yeah. He didn't last long. All right. Punch on it. Hit it. Give us a like. Give us some stars.
Yep.
Smack it in the ear. Do whatever you want. Tell us you like us.
Oh, God. Follow us on everything, man.
Yeah.
Y'all stay safe on this.
We'll be there.
For John Jurkovic, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Man, I want love. Peace.